We're getting set up, and I was wondering if you could promote the office of the Monroe County to a panelist.
Oh, really?
Well, both the friends are married.
I was going to do a quick test, if TASD, if you can let me know that, we're able to be heard clearly. A thumbs up, or everything is good. Thank you.
Quite happy though.
Yeah.
There we go. Go ahead and, oh, that's my background here. There we go. Sharing the screen. Yes, I have that many tabs open from this period.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and they all mean something too. That's the worst part about it. You know, half of them are follow-up tabs. Right, so I will get to the packet and then I'll call us to order. Last time I tried to fit a 15-minute conversation into an hour or a half hour window.
It should fit.
It should fit.
15 minutes into a half hour opening, it should fit.
It should.
Times two.
I agree. It sure as heck is. Donna was basically looking at me like,
It's like,
hang up the phone, let's go, wrap it up. I tried my best. All right.
Happens in my office too.
So we are about to move this off of here, so we just see our packet. And all right, I will call to order the Monroe County Surveyor Review Board meeting of Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023 to order. We have all three members here. They're all in person. We could do a voice vote at any time or roll call. Also, I will state that Mr. Boardman has a deadline, or he can only stay with us until 5 o'clock. We do have a lot of corners on the agenda, so we can stick around to go through them all, but if the board feels like we hit a certain point and we still have corners to certify, we can just table those. The thought process is we might as well fill the agenda to the point where we can stop when we want without like just finishing early. Sorry.
do you have a hard stop today too?
No, I have no hard stop on my end. So that at least gives us a little bit more flexibility. With that said, I call to order. We'll move for approval of the agenda. Is everyone okay with the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Okay, I'll do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed, same sign. All right, agenda approval of minutes from June 20th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second. We'll do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed, same sign. All right, hearing no objections, the minutes are approved. So we're to new business office update. This is Jason's kind of update. Before we get to that, I'm just going to, I don't know, jump on your guys' soapbox before we started recording the meeting of. We had a very good candidate come in and take the position of field tech assistant. I always say field technician. I kind of want to change that name, but he served as field assistant for a little over a year. Acquired a lot of good skills from the surveyor's office, and then applied for a job in the auditor's office, and he was offered the job and will be the new parcel editor, which I think is going to be really beneficial, knowing kind of some of the public land surveying system side of things, to bring some of that institutional knowledge that he gained here over to the auditor's office. And he will be leaving us in 2 weeks, September 5th. And we're looking for another field assistant. So, if you know anyone that we could train up for a while before they want to leave us. So,
Wrong spot.
yes, I'm very proud, and it's been very amazing to watch them continue to grow and take on a larger job, pursue a career. It's been pretty awesome. I contribute a lot of what he's been able to gain from the supervision of Jason George as well, survey technician. And it's kind of neat to see. So let us know. Looking for a part-timer.
Any update on the LS position? I mean, I won't say what I've heard, but I've heard some rumors.
The PS, we have some candidates that are interested, and that's really nice because we're approaching the budget. And I can at least convey that to the council because the position has been vacant for some time, and I don't know really when that becomes a consideration to council about the position. But from my feedback from the liaison that, and due to the fact that we've been dealing with space needs for a number of years, that we're finally getting our space needs met. And I think that we can leave this personnel position budgeted in there and hopefully, maybe land a PS we have the opening now. So by the end of this year, at the beginning of next year, I will say that if we end up in June or July of next year and we don't have a PS, I'm going to have to reevaluate the whole position and probably secure those funds for a different type of full-time job, like maybe another, like a field technician that's full-time or something, because we are keeping afloat, but there's so much more that we need to do. And without having that full-time person, we're just kind of managing to the best of our abilities. So we also hired a part-time person, which actually is working out very well because when Hunter leaves, the part-time is actually going to take a lot of the responsibilities he had immediately. We had other goals for that role, but right now it will help supplement some of the workload that Hunter had taken on. So with that, the position is still there. It's at close to 84,000 a year. It's like 83,247, I think, or something. At a 35-hour work week, working with an amazing team at the Monroe County Surveyor's office. And
Really sweet benefits,
with sweet benefits.
tons of vacation,
Tons of vacation.
but not to start.
And we have a truck, equipment, And we're moving to the north end of the showers building in the near future, and the commissioners had approved the agreement, I guess, that we have with our furniture provider last Wednesday. So, we're just waiting. That could be 2 to 3 months before we get everything and it's set up. But we are potentially gonna move down there sooner than later as a temporary measure, just to keep us all together, because starting next week, the GIS technician position that we filled, the person comes in, so we need the space, and I don't want to kind of separate the office, so we're all gonna just kind of move there with kind of our bare essentials, and as the furniture comes in, we'll continue to move things over. We'll leave all the records over here until we have new filing cabinets, and then we'll kind of do one big push and finally be moved over in the showers building.
Stay tuned for where our next surveyor review board meeting will be.
Yes, so that is the updates. Was there anything else? Just kind of curious. So yeah, if you know another PS, tell them it's getting competitive over here, and they should just jump right on in and take on the job. I will say that the folks I've been talking to, they both seem to be an ideal fit with, a passion and a focus on perpetuation efforts. And it's nice to know that if we are being considered, because I think the pay is not necessarily comparable to what you can make in the private sector, but I do think the fact that you're not working with client demands and it's a 35-hour work week, and you can kind of really, kind of take a step back of what you do on the private end, it could entice someone. And I always felt like it would be someone nearing their retirement or someone becoming a new parent, and wanting to focus on their kids, or someone just entering kind of the profession. So it's really exciting to know that there's 2 folks out there entertaining the idea, but we won't see what happens until, the job's offered and they say yes. So I'm not giving up on my hope. It's been a long process. Now I'm gonna defer to Jason with his.
This is from the May 16th meeting, where our distances didn't quite line up with the ones on Mr. Decker's survey. They're off by 4 feet, and it was a snapping issue, basically, so I rechecked on that. They were pretty close, 2644.19 versus,
4644.4.
yeah,
2 tenths. Not bad.
so. That's me.
And then the distance on the review is 2644.19. So.
Thanks
So
for checking.
I think that was just a condition to check, so the record was approved, correct?
Yes.
And so this is just kind of giving you an update.
Yeah, we were just afraid maybe we approved it around the monument
Right.
by accident.
So we will move along to the corner certification of corners. I have slips if we looked at this. Me and Jason looked at it last week. So there's so much going on. If I'm fumbling through it, that's because I'm fumbling through it, but I think we'll get it done. The corner documentation program, we have 2 of those. This is actually interesting. This was done by Just Win, and it looked like the client didn't really want to pay him, or something happened where he didn't sign the survey, and then a couple years later they needed it, so he signed the survey, and we're like, hey, we have these in the queue for the documentation. Do you want to continue with that? All we need is the survey. He's like, sure. So we were able to reach out to get all the information we needed for him to go through the corner documentation program. So this is really cool, because we don't see too many licensed surveyors, professional surveyors take advantage of this in the county. So I'll just move right along. Here are the minutes.
Are these the ones that we talked about And Eric was gonna check
Yes,
the
and we
survey.
have, the documents he provided, along with, your old survey, the Arabian Glen survey, the Parkes survey.
There's we referring to.
Did Eric agree with Jess?
Yes.
Okay. I remember agreeing with Jess at the time of Jess asking me, or saying he was disagreeing with me. I looked at
Right.
his survey and was okay with it.
I was able to find all the documents you guys spoke about, except for the Bernie one, and,
I think it was Eric that wanted. I was okay with it.
okay.
It was Eric that needed to.
And we was doing the same thing, right? Magnals.
I'm trying to,
Yeah.
I looked at them for years.
Magnal and these,
I'm just resting past me to
yes, so.
agree with her.
Mhm.
Did you
Okay,
find Eric?
well, it was this one right here. I just was verifying that it was the same, so. Did you need to look at it, Rachel?
And I guess I would be curious if we could entertain these as a group motion. If everyone's comfortable, I'm not sure if you joined us virtually on this one, Todd.
yes, I did.
Okay, so is there anything that you would like to ask her? Any comments or anything? I just want to make sure we got your feedback too, since we were kind of picking this apart.
No, it's all coming back to me now.
Would the board like me to, go over these, or would they be comfortable with entertaining an motion? I guess for the public's edification, we're looking at Bean Blossom A09. And part of the corner documentation program is if a surveyor goes above and beyond the service that they're providing the client, which means filling out these documents that I'm kind of scrolling through, we can pay them for their work, and just when I take an opportunity to do this. So this document was performed and provided by a professional licensed surveyor. We're also looking at Bean Blossom CO9 and Bean Blossom E09. And I will give the board a moment to look things over, but I am waiting for your direction for a moment. I guess the one last thing is EO9 was previously tied off, and I'll put the archived record up there as well.
I can make a motion. I just want to make sure everybody's had an opportunity to look at it all.
I'm ready for a motion.
I'm fine.
I'll make a motion that we approve Bean Blossom A09, Bean Blossom C09, and Bean Blossom E09.
All right, we have a motion
Second,
and a second. I'll go ahead and go with the voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Glenn,
Nice.
Opposed? Hearing none.
Thank you, Jennifer, for bringing this.
Yeah, I will say, when I was looking this over with Jason last week, he did an impeccable job of making sure to have all the information and address all the comments that were made for all of the tailored corners that we'll be looking at today. So I commend him on his work ethic and dedication to the perpetuation efforts of our office. So moving along, the county surveyor perpetuation, we have Washington CO5, which was tabled in March 21st. I think a lot of these were tabled just due to time, but we wanted to bring it back to you, and if I misspoke there, I think Jason can correct.
Yes.
I think, the board members just wanted more, information about the corner. This one was previously tied off as well. There's no origin. So we went out and got an additional
Oh, yeah.
monument accessory that was in the center of Burma Road. And with that Burma Road distance, centerline distance, along with the extra distance that's on the survey, it measures out pretty well.
Almost here. So this was Ben and he recorded it. Okay.
So we didn't have specific questions, did we?
Well, I don't believe you were here.
Right.
And I
I
believe,
wasn't thinking of it.
yes, I think we were all just, that far off of perfectly drawn fence line. Seemed a little weird, but then obviously someone took some effort to set this there.
Let's see, Eric Williams held this in 2022. Who's Eric
Yes.
Williams?
It was out of Johnston County, White. He found magnetic signals in the center of Burma Road and set the mag nail over them. We collected that point and put the additional distance on. That's the way kind of the math works out. I rayed our line with the Ben Budsell line, with that line bearings, and there was like a 5 foot difference, margin of error.
And I also will bring up that, in the theory of location, the rebar and the concrete base was previously witnessed by Monroe County Surveyor Kevin Enright in 2000 and accepted by the Surveyor Review Board in 2000. So here is the archive.
The rebar and concrete in 1994.
That's a carbon copy of that. I mean, I look at it, the distances are exactly to the 100th on that one. So he's found an accepted bins. I think he just tied in and didn't change anything.
Okay. Well,
You know what I'm saying?
my vote is it's an approved record since 2000, and we have record that's been the same monument since 90. Was it 97 on Ben's? 94 on Ben's, and Jason's saying it goes all the way back to 77 in the same location for this survey. So that's
Possibly, yeah.
pretty good. I mean, there's uncertainty in the fence line, but I'm not gonna say this monument record's wrong,
No,
that we already have.
I mean, as far as the theory of it, and do we have the same point? I think that I agree that it's the same point.
Yeah, my comment was on this next one. I apologize. When I said, I mentioned that you weren't present.
On this,
For some reason, I was looking at this one, so
that's the same one, isn't it? This one, the 9-inch rebar and concrete. I think
yes, okay.
that's the one. That's so far off the fence, 45 feet.
Mhm.
I mean, as a board, I'd say we just accept it because it's already a record. And if I were surveying here, I don't know if I would accept it.
Is that a motion?
Probably.
I'm okay with it, to be honest with you.
And a motion to approve Washington CO5.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Feel like we do the voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion passes. I do want to just take a quick pause and just basically for the public, because there's a lot of people that watch this after we meet. What we're doing from the start of this corner by perpetuating it, is we're able to get more controls, reconciliate those with other surveys, to get a good feel if this is the right position. And also, we're collecting coordinates that have a lot of utility to them. So it's tightening our standards to preserving this monument, for future surveys or surveys. So I just wanted to kind of indicate that as we move on. The next corner is Bean Blossom 019, and Jason, is there anything wrong with that?
It's Bloomington 019.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's first, let's correct that one. It's Bloomington 019, and that,
Those tables were time back in 2020. We just went back outside the site and made sure all the witnesses were still there. We didn't have the aerial at the time. We got an extra witness. I wanted to get a witness in the whole.
Big
Hole.
I think you just like the whole 7,
Yeah,
you know, so how can we leave my mark on here? Oh, go ahead and witness off the whole. So, also, this was a big interesting kind of phenomenon in the office when this was happening, because they just went and moved the section corner that we had there, and like there was no real indication of it was going to actually be reset. And then the PS at the time, Miss Ozer, had been like, what's going on here? And then I think we reached out to Kreider, then identified that they had a surveyor, and then that surveyor was supposed to go and set it. And we provided them a Harrison monument, and they did go and set it, and that was Bledsoe Rigger, is it Cooper James at the time, probably?
Yeah, I was thinking the Kreider one was that one over by Curry Pike.
I th-
That one was definitely Kreider, but in any case, the
Yeah.
point is that we couldn't locate it first before they destroyed it, because it was already destroyed. So we weren't gonna reset it. We needed somebody who had it tied, it was BRCJ had it tied into their control.
Yeah, and then they were,
So they staked it out.
yeah,
Where it was a stone.
we actually have a fun picture of the other Jason looking at the stone as a raw photo. And so anyone wants to get nostalgia, that's we can bring it up. But
Did we go to work for DNR? Is that the?
yeah, he went, I'm not sure if it was DNR or Hoosier, if they're the same thing or not, but he did go work for the forestry, and I think he still might be doing that. Haven't seen him in quite some time. So, yeah, this is what we got. Is there any other thing that the board would like us to look at, bring up? I can basically read some of the area of location if that's helpful. The limestone was previously witnessed by witness in the Monroe and monument record prepared under the direction of Monroe County Surveyor Kevin Enright on October 2nd, 2009, and accepted by the Monroe County Surveyor Review Board. The 2009 monument record accepted the limestone per legal survey description, book 2, page 397, prepared under the Monroe County Surveyors MH Busker Survey 1884 on file in the surveyor's office. Jess Flynn surveyed the IU Foundation job number 2498 in 97 on file in the surveyor's office. The limestone monument was destroyed by ongoing grading activity at the IU golf course and replaced by the Harrison Monument stand section corner found 0.3 feet below grade inside a 6-inch hole with a green plastic cover. The Harrison Monument was set by landscape Unlimited with the assistance of Bledsoe Ringer Cooper James. I could, I guess, scroll to the archive record. Here's the archive record. And there was a note put on here by Miss Ozer in 2018, talking about the grading.
I'm glad you guys went and checked on it, because I feel like somebody mentioned to me that it was,
Yeah, someone called Mark
Destroyed
and said it
again.
wasn't there.
but they probably just didn't
Scott
have,
Purdue couldn't find it.
he didn't have the new tie sheet though, I guess.
It was before that existed, yeah.
Yeah, I think when I heard about it, it looks like this was tabled in 2020. I was thinking that it had been approved years
Yeah.
ago at this point, and
Then
so yeah, it's good that you,
Christopher Porter gave us coordinates, and I gave them to Scott Purdue, and I guess they found it.
didn't we already have the coordinates in-house since we located?
I didn't know what I was doing. This was
Monument,
like,
oh, okay.
October 21 or something.
Motion to approve,
Second.
You want to state the name?
motion to approve Bloomington 019.
And that was the second from Todd.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I'll do votes of voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Hi,
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none. Corner is approved. Awesome. Ooh, the dangerous one.
Who was the lucky one?
I was there with Cassidy.
Yeah, it's somewhere in here, it talks about how dangerous. Okay, yeah, and other evidence. If you haven't read that part, it's fun. So we are moving to Leamington KO1. Jason, do you want to add? I know that this was kind of something that just was on our records, but do you want to add any other insight?
No, I just picked it out of a folder and we wrote the theory of location and just to kind of move something that passed for the place, so I didn't go to the site or anything.
So we have some, mostly complete work still in the office from Miss Ozer's tenure, I guess, or time. And this was our chance to kind of brush off the cobwebs and bring it to the board. I don't really think it's going to change too much with I-69 being there. I will go ahead and read the other evidence, and I'll go ahead and just skip to the second sentence. The location is very difficult and dangerous to access due to 3 lanes of northbound traffic on the interstate. Please request coordinates from the surveyor's office or from the route survey. So a lot of this comes from the NDOT route survey, as well as it looks like we've had multiple surveyors hold this position. Also, it was previously tied off. And look how nice that tie sheet was. That's something I drew and it took me forever. But it was a railroad spike. And from all indications, the railroad spike was replaced by the 1-inch iron pipe.
I think we were gonna locate it. And we couldn't get a break in track. We eventually said this is stupid and not worth dying over. Cause it's there, it's fine. So,
It's cautionary tale.
So
You want this one, Todd?
So I'm just making the assumption there's not gonna be any state plan ordinance on this one then. It's just,
it's
not
not
anything that we can certify,
okay,
even though it was probably collected by Ms. Ozer.
We
but-
didn't, we didn't collect it.
Oh, you didn't collect it?
It says we did not locate the monument
Oh,
because it's too dangerous, basically. And then we just calculated it based on the route survey, which I'd say is within,
So-
within 2/10 generally, but you know, who knows if we set the limit.
So it
Did you
sounds
shoot
like,
the ties then, or?
We shot the ties,
Okay.
yeah. But they would be, the varying distance on them would be to the calculated point, but those ties are all, like hard point ties. Yeah, the mixes.
I would make a motion to approve it, but I don't know how to say this. Is there any way to bold or highlight the fact that the monument was not located? I mean, I just think that, I know it says it on there, but somehow identify that
Yeah,
more.
we put in the front. And
like, are you talking about like 1-inch iron pipe found flush in concrete?
Well, it's in the other evidence, you know, it says we did not locate the monument, but I just feel like that should be brought to the surveyor's attention.
Maybe it should be actually, changed on the varying distances on the monument accessories to not be like to the seconds and the hundredths, since
it's
they're tying into a calc point, not a located point,
right.
you know?
So change just to the
That's just a thought,
Yeah, I think any way,
but also
If we
having it
could-
in the front sentence, it should say 1-inch iron pin found in flush and concrete did not locate.
yeah, I mean, I
Right
think
there.
this just needs brought to the attention.
don't look for this.
No, don't look for it, it's there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just, because someone's gonna look at this and they're gonna say, oh, those ties are exact. Because I could see them easily reading,
Mhm.
skipping over that and the other evidence.
And then shooting the ties and then, well, see. This, if you did leave the ties at the, exact bearing and distance like they are, then everybody could shoot the ties and calc back the corner, and if everyone calcs back the corner in the same spot all the time.
But you're gonna get the one guy who's gonna go stop that road and shoot it.
How about we put
Yeah, if
on
you go in
here
the middle of the night or whatever.
a suggestion, let's leave the bearings and distances as is, and under the monument descriptions where it says cut X and south side of corner of concrete vault, for example, can we somehow, maybe have a little area here to calculated position in each one of these little dialogue boxes?
That's a good idea.
So
Yeah.
just right after the distance to calculated position.
So within that first box then, or
Yeah. However you want to do it, whatever you can get it to look professional and still be legible, if they can put it to calculated position.
and we're doing that. in
I mean, you
more
could
that
just
we
put
were
a
going
note
to
right
make
below it that
another-
says all bearing, but you want it to be
I
really.
want it
Popping
to,
out.
yeah, I want it to be
No, after
redundant
each
down through there, just so that
Oh,
people,
okay.
you know, because they're gonna see this.
115.10
and they're gonna
Okay.
just say,
calculated.
and they're not even gonna read the last line.
I know when I
Okay.
was there, I remember
To
thinking,
calculate.
I would
position.
just
Gotcha.
go shoot this
That makes sense.
if I weren't working for the county and we have rules about traffic
Mhm.
control and, you know,
I understand what
So
you're saying.
should
so,
we
so
try
you're
to
right,
figure out how
somebody
to
is
shut down
definitely
the
gonna shoot it
interstate?
at some point, it's not always busy.
Yes, I agree.
We could reach out to NDOT and ask if we could get them to shut down the interstate. for
Well,
us
you
to
guys
get
aren't
out
gonna
there.
publish the ordinance anyways, so taking your hand, their lives in your hands just to get ordinance that aren't gonna go on the tie sheet to help
True.
anyone, is probably pointless.
I think the note
You're
needs
right.
to-
I think that's right. So I guess, to clarify. What we were going to do, and I guess I want to make sure we got this right. Under the monument description at the first, we're gonna leave it as is based off of Eric's suggestion that. After the distance on each witness, we incorporate two calculated positions. So basically it would read, number 10,437, south 81 degrees, 42 minutes and 33 seconds east, 115.10 feet. And another little, if we can, we'll try to create another column. If not, we'll just put it before the wordage. To calculate position. To calculate position, and then we'll figure out to cut X in the south corner of a 7.1 7 feet by 5.1 feet concrete.
I would just maybe say in the
Catch-all
description
box.
section, say, from calculated position of NDOT monument to cut X.
That works.
And just put that first in front of each four.
In each one,
all four of
okay,
those.
so
Okay,
from calculation,
But also, I think you still should have it under monument,
you do want
not
that
leave
still,
it as
okay.
is, but say
monument on town.
monument, no, not located.
Not look-
It was found, it was there. You can see it in the picture. It's just
It was measured to proper term, it wasn't, I mean,
Okay,
measured.
calculated.
yes, or, well, it was calculated, but it was not.
Physically
Located, measured.
located,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, whatever the proper term is.
what is the proper term?
Yeah, we should tell them exactly what it is.
Yes,
I mean, I would probably say measured myself, but
Monument not.
there, I mean. Located, surveyed, Eric, you got the seniority rights here.
Don't throw me under the bus.
What about just saying
I think Todd's just trying to
monument not
take the rest of the time.
located, calculate, position was calculated from NDOT routes. Like regurgitating,
Or was not physically located, it was calculated by, yeah. Was not physically located, it was calculated from. Route survey.
So
it could even
is-
just be like the exact thing that's over here. We did not locate the monument. Coordinates are provided based on, although coordinates aren't provided, so. That knows.
Location provided based on the calculated.
Who was it?
So should we change
You?
anything on the other evidence then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let Jason get the note for the monument. Did we figure out let's go back to the monument description. And I just did something with scary. Here.
So under the monument description, is this debate, the debate here is that we need to, it says 1 inch iron pin found flush in concrete. Position calculated, not measured.
Yes, that is, and we're just trying to figure out the best way to say that.
that sounded good to me, position calculated.
Are you writing this down, Bob?
It's pretty clear, right?
Yes, but and it says it first. The calculated automatically should trigger something in their head.
Do we restate that?
Under the monumentation, it should say 1 inch iron pin found flush in concrete, calculated, in parentheses, not measured.
Yes. Good.
So the change is to add calculated, not measured in that line of text.
No,
Like
both
this,
of them.
here. That's it.
Position parentheses.
Okay, leave that line and just add that.
That's what you got.
And then here's a note.
Can I keep this?
Yeah,
And is this, okay, so. All right, I'm
And then
gonna,
this location too.
yeah, and then on that, I put a note for the,
From calculated position.
yeah,
Okay,
for all four of them.
yeah, that makes it.
all right, so. I'm gonna be looking for a motion
You started this motion.
that with the conditions. To revise the tie sheet, Bloom Blossom KO1 to read under monument, 1 inch monument pin found flush in concrete. Position calculated, not measured. Also in monument accessories and the witnesses. After the distance and before the cut X. We'll put found calculated position from NDOT monument to cut X and so
From,
forth.
from,
So from and then to, and then in other evidence, we will remove the coordinate. And put location. So locations are provided based on the calculated location of point number. 1097 from section 5, segment 4, route survey recorded as instrument number. 2013 survey. So, that is the motion we're looking for. You could say so moved, or you could restate a new motion.
Can we leave that one on the table and I have another idea? Should they put this in the, like in a documentation program queue and have somebody actually get survey grade coordinates and certify to them in the hopes that maybe future people wouldn't go locate it and everyone could consistently use.
For $75, they can have at it.
I meant like I didn't mean the bounty program, I meant like the contracts,
Oh,
like the service contracts.
If we ever get there.
Or maybe making, well, yeah. I mean, is there a way to get everybody to kind of consistently use the same information without risking their own lives? Because I see the ideal way to do that would be to have these hard ties and have located the monument.
I would agree with that.
And then people could just shoot the hard ties and not go back and locate the monument.
So what is the county procedure on getting out there and trying to shoot that, I guess?
But they don't
We'd
provide coordinates.
figure it out.
It would have to be after the
Maybe-
PS starts.
Maybe you could on this one make an exception.
Or just wait till the PS starts.
The conversation of always trying to create a safer environment for professional surveyors out there, has been kind of a goal of ours, and, you know, if there's a way we can do that, great, outside of maybe them to reaching the office and having kind of that one-on-one conversation. I really couldn't say it unless we state maybe under monument that, you know, our hopes are you know, use the witnesses to calculate the point for safety measures, or, you know,
But since we didn't actually locate the point, like, the witnesses could be, it could be like a couple tenths off and we don't know how well they set the monument.
right. There's a good chance the monument isn't even at the coordinate that they gave you.
so we could
Right,
table
and the
this.
route survey, I find it, my calcs on it are a couple tenths off usually.
But yeah, the GPS is a little bit different that day, so it gets set a couple more ticks off.
See it, somebody could locate it, probably the way to locate it is with the total station, because then you can just jump out there real quick and get that shot instead of standing with the GPS.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do it simply, just, you know, hold two of those and just set up, take 5 shots and shoot 4 ties, shoot it, and you're good to go.
But they don't use the total station and they don't certify for them. So
Yeah.
that's why I was
Even
throwing
with
it out
the
there
witnesses, we could
of should there
we
be,
could have coordinates on the witnesses, but again, those aren't. We're not able to approve them as far as survey grade coordinates goes, so. Even if we put that information on each witness, it's.
So, yeah, so I mean, if you're looking at this and you're trying to see YA in the state of Indiana, and you read this and someone questions it, they can come back and say, why did you hold the ties? It clearly states they were not to a measured monument. You're probably gonna lose that battle in court. I mean, it clearly states it.
I mean, who's gonna sue you over that?
Well,
defense?
I mean, I completely agree with that too, but
Well, we could just go ahead and table this, and it seems like there's a good reason,
I don't think
because.
we should table. I really don't think we should table it. I just think you should consider doing a service agreement to
Just one corner,
do this corner and see if anybody,
and bear hopes of waiting for
wants to
someone
do it.
needing to tie into it. Just snagging that work. I don't know, that's a very nuanced
I mean,
question.
sure, I mean, I'll gladly take 3 trucks out there and we can stop it, we can go shoot it, I mean, that's not.
cause I wouldn't bet on this, cause I just. It's not worth it. I mean, it's me and my husband are gonna get run over.
You could be a man, they know.
Yes, if you take at least 2 trucks or 3 trucks and you go back a quarter mile and, you know, have a flagger and then have another truck, you know, 1/8 of a mile, I mean, you could do this, I would say.
Well, so
So your company would
There-
actually bid on it if they set it out.
It's a lot.
there's a chance we could ask for assistance with flagging. To get out there and collect that coordinate in a house, but again, you know. We're not able to certify on some of those things, so it just doesn't really help the safety angle of this conversation.
I mean. If you
That's
go
where
out and
I'm
shoot it though, even though you don't publish it, you can verify.
Right.
Is that, I mean, you verified the one that we
Right,
just did up
right.
off of Wolf Mountain
And
Road.
We
it's
could
not that-
provide it,
It's not that people need to publish coordinate because coordinates can sort, they can change, like the systems are gonna change and
Yes.
stuff, but if you have the bearings and distances to those 4 points collected at the same time, the same day, then you should know how those relate back to the monument. So even though you're not providing the coordinate on the monument, you're providing a way for somebody to calculate that exact location by shooting those 4 witnesses. But right now, it's not really, because it's just allowing them to calculate. Go back to the calculated position.
I mean, you've got a coordinate, correct?
Huh?
You've got a coordinate for it. I mean,
Calculated.
we can
calculated
generate it.
coordinate based on the route survey.
Right,
You're just looking for verification for something to do.
right,
He's not gonna publish it. And he can say, this thing's 3 feet off. This thing's 2/10. Would we be good with it then? So just table it and see if you guys can get a shot on it.
I think that's,
Would that make,
Yes, and I mean.
and then we don't have to go through all that.
And I
just
mean,
talk
and
about-
if you do decide to do that and you want help, I will gladly send a crew up there and help you block traffic for an hour. Well, I mean, that's fine.
okay,
They
Oh,
have the
Lisa.
highway department will help too.
Lisa.
maybe, they
Sometimes.
could be,
Sometimes,
I'm curious if they get a little wary since it's an interstate
they might
now.
not, yeah, they
But
might
I
not
mean,
do it on county
connections
road.
with NDOT at this point, so I could potentially work some of my connections and see what could happen with NDOT. There's a possibility.
So just
chance
don't
there.
forget to reshoot all the ties when the
When you
same
got
day
there,
you
yeah.
do the.
So I guess I would be looking for a motion to table this corner.
So moved.
All right, we need a second.
So moved, or a second,
Okay,
and, yeah, I'll just stop. I had one more thing I was gonna bring up, but I won't.
all right. So I will do a vote and say all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed, same sign. Hearing none, we'll move on and we're getting real close to your hard stop.
Hey, Jason, maybe Jason should make those edits anyways, just for the pending sheet that's on file,
Yeah,
in case it's ever provided anyone who asks.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. We'll move along. If you have to get up, just let us know and, but we'll see if maybe we can get one more in.
Okay,
We're moving to Richland.
I'm gonna have to renew my meter. If we're gonna go past 5,
We don't have to go past
give me a
5.
second. I don't mind, I just thought would all be so, right?
What corner are we on?
About halfway.
I've actually got to run west of town. I mean, I'm not gonna stick much past 5 if I stick around, you know what I'm saying? I mean, 5:15 is about as far as I can go. I mean, my
Okay.
meter's up at 5:15.
Okay,
Six.
all right, I'll just leave mine, I think it goes to 5:06.
Okay,
So,
I think we're kind of where our hopes were, so, let's see if we can get this Richland M07, maybe Bean Blossom. Or Benton North M23, and then that just leaves us with the Washington ones, and then and then we go back to Bean Blossom, I guess, whatever, but let's just go ahead and move forward, and if we have to conclude at 5, that's fine. I think our goal was to try to get at least 5 done a meeting, and we've already hit that, so that's good. Richland M07, we have a 5/8" rebar with plastic yellow cap stamp Shepherd. Jason, would you like to add any other comments?
Not really, everything was pretty much as it was back in.
2006. So this monument was previously tied off by Kevin Enright in 2006 and approved by the board in 2006 as well. I will bring up the tie sheet because I drew it and it's just so fancy and so confusing because I have no idea. Because I was here for less than a year, I think, and that's just what I drew. So
You had the swoopy roads down there, Tron.
I did, I got the roads, that's about it. That's before having aerials to look at too, I was just trying to do my best. So, the monument's the same, it's. But it's very confusing because the way that the old record read, it said base of stone found. But when you look at A, it's a 5/8 inch rebar with cap. So it's the same cap. It's just some reason, and I had to be instructed to do it this way because it took me and Jason like 5 minutes to just parse this out, that there was a stone at the base of the rebar, and Kevin just was very adamant about stones, so we put stone found on there, even though we're tying off a rebar. So it's the same monument. I think this is a good, effort with our preservation. We did it in 2006, so I mean, we're getting close to almost 20 years out, and now we have coordinates on it. And I had asked why this got on Jason's radar, and I think it's just from us reviewing surveys as they come in, and we've had a couple surveyors hold this position in 2022, so we just kind of got out there and preserved that monument and got coordinates on it, and a bunch of other heightened standards as well with our perpetuation efforts. So I know you said you didn't have anything else to add, Jason, but I'll ask you again.
No, it was pretty straightforward once we get past the BT, BD, BE part. That was kind of confusing. We were out in the hot sun.
So there was another rebar out there, is what it was. So this helps us differentiate something like that so that we don't make that mistake in the future.
Yeah, and it really isolates it. Maybe that's what Kevin's thoughts was of making me call out both of them, just so it was really clear that there was two monuments. I still think it's very clear with what Jason had put together too with his sketch. And also, I was pretty surprised at how close we were to B. We have 5.9 feet, and he used the Javad, and he got 5.76. So we weren't that bad on our measurements.
I see that our office has held this once before as well, so I'm okay with it.
All right, then we would be, unless there's any other questions, comments, or direction from the board, looking to entertain a motion.
Motion to approve Richland M as in Mary 07.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. I will do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes. We are at that 5 o'clock.
Yes, I need to excuse myself.
But this next one was the very first section corner Jason has been part of. And we finally got to it.
Well, man, Ron, you're making me feel guilty. I'm not gonna make the guy sit here and wait this whole time and not hear his first job.
It was,
Okay.
me and him made it out to the field. We checked this out. It was fun. Do you want to add any comments in, Jason?
No, nobody's referenced it except for the Graham survey that brought it to our attention, and went there with Tron, went there with Cassidy, and Cassidy had the pictures on her personal phone, so I had to go out there again with Hunter to take them on my phone, epic pictures.
So did Doug set this and it's been there for a while, right?
21.
Oh, you're thinking he just set it in 21?
I think so, yes.
Whose number is that? 89? 0006, is that Doug's number?
No, Doug's is 95.
I didn't think that was Doug,
Oh,
so
right.
that just makes me think it was set, that they held a monument that was already there.
89, would that be?
Was it Curry?
Or Walker? Wasn't there a third one in there or something?
Well, Potter was certifying there for a while, but
So
No.
I would suggest that we table this
Which could be-
corner, we'll identify the RSL number and, we don't even use that term anymore, do we?
well, and under the theory of location here, you know, we're referencing.
I
a
apologize,
certain-
actually, that's.
Have at
Yes,
it.
yes.
See, man.
Thank you so much.
Everyone
for
have a
being
good
here.
evening.
Right back at you. One of the things I was noticing here in the theory of location and then referencing Doug Graham survey. That was recently done in 2021. That he, I'm sure, is just referencing it in his survey, but it would be nice to know what the origin of this.
Yeah, that's what
survey
I'm
is.
getting at
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And just with that catch with the RSL or the registered land surveyor number.
Well, that's
Um,
why I was bringing that up, because it looked like it wasn't from the 21 survey.
Right, so that was good feedback.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So. Yes, to your point, Eric, I would be looking to a motion to table this. We'll dig into what the origin of this rebar and cap and add it to our theory of location and bring it back to the review board and maybe we'll have some more evidence to share. I'm not sure of the extent of the survey itself. They may call out for other corners on that survey. I would have to look at it again, so. Just for interest of time and respecting your time, I'd be looking for a motion to table this and we'll bring it back at our next meeting.
Okay, motion to table Bean Blossom M23.
Second,
All right, I have a motion and a second. Mr. Boardman left, so I'm gonna go ahead and just switch it up since that was the full board to a roll call.
that was Doug Curry.
That was Doug Curry, so the license number is Doug Curry. Just that out there, and I will go ahead and do a roll call. Rachel Ozer,
Yep,
Eric Deckard, yes. Okay, great. And ESD. We are, well, actually, sorry, never mind. Some small details. We are looking for public input. If anyone from the public is here that came to speak today, please raise your hand. There is one person in attendance and I'm not sure who that is. If they came to speak, please raise your virtual hand. TSD, if you are not aware of who that is and they're not part of your team, if you could just send them to ask them to unmute. You have something that says they're talking. No, that's me. All right, we're seeing that there is no indication of a person with the public that wants to speak. We will just move along. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and close this thing. Okay, thank you. Just indicated there's nothing preventing them from typing or talking, so we'll just leave it there and move to adoption of the next meeting date. Donna?
Oh,
Even if we have adoption of the next meeting date, there's a good chance we might change the location depending on where we're at. And we might be in the north end of the showers, which means we'll probably be reserving one of those rooms there. Most likely, it'll be that same meeting space where the admin plan commission meetings are held because they're fitted out with the owl and everything else as far as our techniques go.
September 19th,
September 19th,
do you have a conference?
I think I do have a conference.
September 26th.
We are shooting for a September meeting. We'll be in contact with everyone to provide some dates to make sure that it's a good fit for your schedule as well.
Okay.
And then we'll let you know when we have more of a firm date. With that said, move for adjournment. So we are adjourned. TSD, thank you so much for being here and hosting, and you can shut us down whenever.
Nice job, guys.
Let me see, to me, please.